Yeah, sure. So we have black women are liberal white women. So our thesis is that black women have not come up with their own ideas. They've mostly followed the ideas of liberal white women, and it's led them to destruction. Then we have a woman must obey her man. We believe that patriarchy generally leads to good outcomes if you have a proper patriarch. And then the last one, we live in a matriarchy, which is to say that the laws and the culture today favor women in a way that's fundamentally detrimental to society. What do you think?
Black women are liberal, white women. I don't think so. And a woman must obey her man. I think it's like you compromise, right? It's you obey him and he obeys you, basically.
The man obeys the woman.
Yeah.
Who's the leader in the family?
I feel like everybody leads.
Everybody leads. If everybody's leading, there's no leader.
I feel like, in my relationship, in my marriage, we both led. Like, if he wanted to go out with someone or his friends, he's like, I had to check with my wife. Like,
Wait, if he wants to go out with his friends, he has to check with you.
he didn't have to, but that was something he did.
Uh-huh.
Like that he just willingly did. I'm like, yeah, go out. But like, I mean, I don't know.
Would you say he's more of a feminine man?
Yeah, and I think it depends how you were raised. I think my brother's very similar too. Like he was raised with women, like sister, mom, dad wasn't really in the picture. My brother was the same way. Like he's very like nurturing towards women, and maybe it's how you're raised. Yeah, so
So what do you think is better, if the father is there leading or if it's a single mother situation?
I think it depends. If the dad is shit, like I grew up without a father. I think I'm amazing. I I'm a doctor. I run my own magazines.
You're a physician or an academic doctor?
I'm both. MD, PhD.
MD, PhD.
Yeah.
Okay, very
Lived in
good.
New York for 4 years. I own Miami Vice magazine. I think I'm a badass bitch, black bitch. So
Okay.
it all depends.
Do you have children?
I have a magazine, a very bougie baby.
Uh, Now, the reason I ask you that is because, one, we have declining population in the West in general,
Right.
but Black Americans uniquely, if you look between 2012 and 2016 in New York, for example, the women cut out the lights on the babies before they were born more than actually giving birth. So we had a negative birth rate effectively with that,
In the black population, you're saying.
the Black population.
Okay. I think as a black population, I think it's kind of scary to bring life into the world, especially especially when you're going to be stigmatized and you're going to be stopped. And it's a cruel world out here for us, and it depends where I've been fortunate enough to. I'm not gonna say privileged, but I lived in a very good neighborhood and a lot of things that
Where are you from?
Miami.
Miami. Okay.
I was raised in Pinecrest.
Okay.
So a lot of the struggles that a lot of black people go through, I've never endured. Like most of my friends, I will say, are white and they're not black.
So if you haven't endured most of those struggles, why not have children?
No, I wanted to. I was married for 10 years, and unfortunately, we divorced. I've been happily divorced 6 years, and it's because it's through my divorce that I launched my own magazine. Actually. So I love babies. I love little people. I steal them all the time.
Yeah, because the way I'm looking at it is, especially as a physician, you're in a profession where it's circled around health and healing. And I think we generally think that maintaining life or creating life are positives. So I tend to think that, taking the life from your womb and also failing to create life is probably an indication of a infirmity in the society.
I feel like it depends on your environment. If you don't have an right environment to bring life into it,
Listen, for you to be a PhD, you saying crazy stuff. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
no, because this is the thing. I despise children suffering. I don't like that at all. I don't think it's okay if you're not mentally stable, if you don't have the environment to bring life into this, you shouldn't be having children. I think
I agree, But
that are not surrounded. They are affected by human trafficking, by abuse, sexual abuse, and it's not okay. So for me,
I agree.
I
That's
think
why
it's
LGBTQ shouldn't adopt.
so I feel no, I don't think adoption is always the key because
No, I said they shouldn't adopt.
they shouldn't. Well,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people have kids and they're like, I'm not ready, and they adopt. I personally don't think that may be the key either because you may adopt, kids may end up in foster care, and it's the worst.
But do you think you have a realistic perspective when you're saying like, the world is so bad? Black folks, are you a foundational Black American?
I'm Haitian American.
You're Haitian. Okay, you guys have a similar history.
We are
Actually, better because you guys were able to throw off the yoke of enslavement. Yes. Shout out to my Haitians. But I say all that to say, Black folks were still having children during enslavement. So we've seen much worse times contextually. So that's really not why we're not having kids. I think it's actually more so the destruction of the relations between Black man and woman, largely facilitated by the government and feminism. And now we're suffering the consequences, but we're lying about the cause. The cause is not, oh, it's a bad world, we can't have kids. The cause is that the Black woman is unruly, can't get along under the leadership of the Black man, and that reduces the likelihood of procreation, and not to mention alimony, child support, and government invading families.
because a lot of Black men don't raise their children. They're not around. A lot of them are not around. They a lot. There's a lot of Black women who are single who have to raise them. My mom.
Yes. Was your mother an unruly woman? Do you think she was the type to submit fully to a man, or to, kind of?
It was equal, but he was garbage. He was trash. So she let him
Why?
go
Why was he garbage?
because he didn't do his homework.
Well, you said your father didn't do his homework. What do you mean by that?
He didn't provide the environment he should be environmenting for his children.
What do you mean?
Like you take care of your kids, you do your responsibilities. You don't go out and do what you want. You need to be in the household. You need to provide. You need to do that. If you're not doing that,
So his number one failing was financial. Is that what you're suggesting?
not just financial.
Okay. What would you say his number one failing was as a father?
He's not a great human being.
Okay. Are you noticing I'm trying to get a specific answer out of you, and it seems like you don't know?
No, I do know he's not a great. I want to say he's not a really good human. Like he didn't do what he needed to do.
Okay, like how is your father not a good human being?
He didn't raise his kids. Like I'm not my brother and I.
You don't see you're taking me in a circular loop right here, Doc?
He wasn't. He didn't.
Because I'm asking you questions that are easier than the MCAT. So if you got through the MCAT, you should be able to answer these unless the emotions are stopping you.
No, there's no emotion.
Okay. So what was the specific behavior or set of behaviors that caused you to say your father was not a good human being?
His priorities were not in the right direction. When there was income coming in, she's an engineer, she's very educated.
Uh-huh.
When she would get her paycheck, he wanted to get a car, and she's like, I had to put food on the table
Uh-huh.
to provide for my children.
So you see how you're talking about money? And I asked you earlier, I said, was his primary failing economic? And you said no.
It wasn't. He had his own job, but he wanted her the finances that she had to not provide for her children.
What do you mean her children? It's our children.
Right, both their children. He wanted to buy luxury cars instead of providing for the family.
You're saying with her money.
Both. Whenever he would always upgrade his car.
Okay, so if he was that bad of a guy, why did she open her legs to him?
Well, she didn't know it till. I mean, she left him before. I don't even know him. Before I was born, she left him.
Okay, right. All right, so this is what I often tell people is that, and we never want to speak
And like,
ill of our
but that's what
grandmothers
they
or
do
mothers.
with men.
No, we're talking about women.
No,
So
no,
what
but
I'm
they
saying
show
is
you-
that this is
they show you this
promiscuity.
amazing- She's not promiscuous.
No, she is promiscuous. If
So-
you are broken up with a man before the baby comes out, that was promiscuity. You didn't know him.
Because
She didn't know him.
what are you talking about? My
Yeah.
older brother. She
Oh, so you and your older brother have the same father, same mother. Okay. How much older is he?
4 years.
4 years. That's a beautiful thing. So
She's not promiscuous because she's never had a boyfriend or a husband, never remarried ever since she left him.
so she married your father.
Of course.
You keep saying of course, like you're saying of course, like
I've never had a boyfriend.
uh,
I've never had another man in my life.
you're saying you or her.
I've never seen her with
I
another
see.
man.
Okay.
It's just been her.
So if your father was good enough to have the first child, and a second child.
Well, he didn't real. A lot of men don't rear their ugly heads until later. So it wasn't. It took a little bit. It took a little bit of time, but eventually.
Hold on one second.
Eventually.
Thank you. It's nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Yes.